Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now because I'm going to get this out of my system and then probably just going to watch you all go in circles because like whatever. Um, the reason that what was said in the video was said is not that it's the end all be all truth of what Crystal intended to do. The reason that in the video Lio said this is what it's being read at and this is what it's being framed as is because that's how people can read it. Whether or not you read it that way or other people that way doesn't matter because other people did read it that way and other people did see it that way. And one of those people is Lio. One of those people is me. One of those people are other people within the Senate. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. It's interpretation and it's reading something and being like, hey, this reads as if you're trying to frame Crystal as a predator. And that is only made worse through the calls that Crystal had with Lio. Now, Crystal is going around being like, this is supposed to be private. This is supposed to be private. But the only reason that, she's so loud about the fact it was supposed to be private is that the sentiments that she shared within that call are sentiments that make it all the more obvious what her intent with the threat was. And whether or not she framed Aaron as a predator, whether or not that was that was intentional, doesn't matter because it still happened. It happened. And some people are reading it that way, which is why the video is being made. And to be fucking honest, the reason people are so extremely uncharitable with Crystal right now is because Crystal was offered so much patience and so much grace and so much kindness in both calls that Lio had with her, but also in Sarah's server yesterday. Because I was in Sarah's server. I sat there and I tried to explain the points that were made within the video to her to be like, hey, this is not a personal attack against you. It really isn't. It is criticism. It is genuine criticism that we are trying to offer you so you can be more careful about the way you treat these situations next time. What Crystal took this as is a personal attack. What Crystal is doing now is getting together with people like Gilded Pooh, Sasu Frasu, Enla, and others. What Crystal is doing right now is playing the main character again, sitting there and going, well, my threat shifted the tide, when that is not the point. That is not the point. The reason we are being uncharitable with Crystal is because Crystal has been offered patience, has been offered grace, has been offered understanding, has been offered productive criticism in form of the video that was released, and decided to spit in our faces about it, and now throw a temper tantrum on Twitter. The reason we are being unkind right now is because Crystal is not choosing to be kind either. Okay, that's the reason why we're upset. The reason I'm even more upset is because in Sarah's server, Crystal said, oh, I don't want us to end on an uncivil note, but is now very clearly willing to get in cahoots with people who are Lio's detractors and who have done way, way, way worse than any other person. The fact that Crystal, a victim of grooming, right? Like somebody who admitted they're a victim of grooming, is currently speaking to Gilded Pooh, somebody who made two, trying to invalidate Aaron's grooming and to debunk Aaron's grooming story, is wild. The reason we're upset with Crystal and we're not giving Crystal a whole lot of grace right now is Crystal's action. Crystal is currently behaving very erratic despite being offered nothing but productive criticism. And at this point, we can no longer give Crystal grace like that. We can no longer be kind to Crystal because Crystal chose what to do about the situation. Crystal chose the way she wanted to behave, and she chose to behave this way. And now people are mad. And that's unfortunate, but that's the consequences of Crystal's action right now. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, Crystal doesn't have a right to respond. No, Crystal has a right to respond. But Crystal should remember that criticism sometimes can be very valid.